Okay, after we talked about the sequences, we are going to talk one very special type of sequence. It's called arithmetic sequence. Arithmetic sequences. Okay. There's another term for that. It's called a common difference. Sequence. It's just like a nickname. Okay. All right. Now, what does that mean? Which means it's a sequence in which each term after the first differs from the preceding term by a constant amount, which means there's the same difference from the first one to the second one, and the same difference to the third to the fourth, and keep going. It goes like that. So let me give you one quick example. Okay, so can you write I ask you to write this. Write the first 6 terms of the arithmetic sequence. Okay. In which, in this sequence, A1 is 100, okay, and AN equals AN minus 1 minus 7. Can you do that? Can you write the first 6 terms of this sequence? I already tell you the formula, and this is the recursion formula. So I have A1 is 100. So I go A1 is 100, and AN equals AN minus 1 minus 7, which means starting from n greater than or equal to 2, each term is the previous term minus 7. So my A2 will be 100 minus 7, I get 93. My A3 will be 93 minus 7, I get 86. See what I'm doing? Okay, and then I keep going, and I get A4 will be A3 minus 7, so 79. I ask for the first 6, so I need to do 2 more. So A5 is a 79 minus 7, so I get 72, and A6 will be 72 minus 7, so 65. So that's going to be 193, 86, 79, 72, 65. The job is done. That's the first 7 terms. Okay, now the good thing is every time it just reduce by 7, reduce by 7, reduce by 7, reduce by 7. This is called the common difference. This common difference is negative 7. So you know A1, if you know how many times you have to go, and then you can find the nth term. So the formula looks like this. AN will be the first term plus how many times you have to drop? N minus 1. D. See, each time you drop by 7, so my D is negative 7. But how many negative 7s you have to add to your first term? This is A2. You have to just reduce once. For A3, you reduce twice. For A4, you reduce 3 times. That's why you get N minus 1. Okay, so this is a very important formula. You might want to put this on your note somewhere so you won't forget. So this one is the same as this one, okay? Yeah, now, if I give you the formula, can you find me what is the let me ask you, what is the 9th term? The 9th term, which means A9, isn't it? A9 by definition, or which will be A1 plus N minus 1D. What is A1? A1 is 100. Okay, and N is 9 because I'm looking for the 9th term. So here will be plus 9 minus 1 times D. What is D? D is the difference each time. In this case, it's negative 7. Okay, looks good. Okay, so that is the 9th term. What about the 10th term? A10, that will be 100 plus here will be 10 minus 1 times negative 7. Of course, you can just continue and finish that. If I ask you, what is the value of that? So you just go ahead, let's do it. So that is 100. 10 minus 1, that's 9. 9 times that. So here's a negative 63. So the answer is a 37. All right, can you find the ninth term? Yes, because 9 minus 1 is 8, and that's 56. So it's 100 minus 56, so it's a 44. Okay, so that's the important formula, and then this is for arithmetic sequence. It's very, very easy. Right. Now, next one, we're going to talk about the sum of the nth term, first nth term. There's a formula again. The sum as n, that's the sum of, which is the summation, if you know. This is ai, and I go from 1 to n, right? So that's the first n terms. And the summation of n terms is n over 2, a1 plus an. So that's the first term and the last term divided by 2, which is the average, and then multiply by how many terms. That makes perfect sense, right? Because it's equal difference. So you just keep going like from here to here to here to here. And then if you want to look at the summation, you take the average of the first and the last, which you get the average of each term, and then multiply by the number of terms as you get the sum. Okay, so I ask you to remember these two important formula, the first one and this one. So this is the an, this is the sn. This is for arithmetic sequence. Okay, I will ask you another. Oh. I have no idea why I get some paper that I already been used. What? Okay, finally. All right, let me ask you to do this. This is like a story. Gauss, when he was like an elementary school student, and the teacher figured that the students are naughty, so the teacher said, okay, I want you to do the addition. I want you to find the sum. I want you to add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus all the way to 100. So the students started pulling out the paper, they started working on it, and the Gauss think a little bit, he said, oh, I know the answer. Okay, now, if I ask you to do this, first of all, this is the arithmetic sequence, because each time the difference is 2. Each time the difference is the same. The difference is a positive one. So 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. Okay? So what do we know is, we know A1 is 1. That's the first term. And we know D is 1, right? Okay. So even I didn't list the whole thing. If I just say add the first, or get the sum of the first 100. So that is A100. Can you figure that out? Question. Can you figure that out? Do you remember this formula? Okay. Now, if I'm looking for the 100th term, A100 will be A1, which is 1. N minus 1, that will be 100 minus 1. D is 1. D is the common difference. So that's 100 minus 199 plus 1 is 100. Of course, we know that, right? Goes from 1, and every time you increase by 1, then of course the 100th term is 100. So far I have the first term, I have the last term. Okay. So if I ask you to find out as 100, which is the sum of the first 100, the formula is this: n over 2 a1 plus an. So basically it's the first term and the last term. You add up, divided by 2, which is the average of all the terms, and then times the number of terms. That's your sum. So we can simply use the formula n is 100 divided by 2, and here will be 1 plus 100. Okay, so that is 50 times 101. So the answer is 5050. That's my answer. My answer is 5050. Okay. how did Gauss figure that out? If you think, okay, this 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me just write it this way. So you have a 1 plus 2 plus a 3 plus a 4 plus, okay, plus 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. That's what you need to do, right? So Gauss think, there's several ways to do it. Gauss think, okay, if I add the first number and the last number, that is 101. And I add this number to this number is also 101. So 3 and 98 is also 101. Now how many of them? So what is in the middle? That should be 50 and 51. So if you do that, then this is also 101. So how many 101s are there? 50 of them, right? So the answer is just 50 times 101. Okay. Or if you like, you can also use another method. I just like to play with those numbers. So 1 plus 2 plus a 3 plus a 4 plus a da da da, and then plus 97, 98, 99, and a 100. Okay, so what I say is I like to add a 1 and a 99, 2 and a 98, 3 and a 97. Okay, so I have 100, 100, 100. How many 100 I have? In the middle, I have a 49, 50, and a 51. So in the middle, I add this to, I get a 100. Therefore, 1 to 49, there are 49 times 100, right? The one in red. And then this is also 100. So I'm going to add another 100. Something missing. So I'm going to add 50. See, that is 4,900 plus 100, that's 5,000. So the answer is also 50, 50. So either way you think, but basically what you're doing here is you're using the property, or you're using the special feature of this arithmetic sequence. Okay. All right. Now let me give you another example, the last one. Can you find the sum of the first 9 terms of the arithmetic? Looks like this. I need to get the first 9 terms, which is I equals 1 to 9, AI, right? Or you write S9, okay, the first 9 terms. What I'm giving you is this, look, I give you 2, 7, 12. If I give you more, it's going to be 17, 22, and so on. This is a arithmetic sequence. So what do you know? A1 equals 2. Okay. And do you know D? So go from here to here, you add 5. So D is 5, right? And remember, if I ask you for the S9, the answer should be Sn is n over 2, and the first one and the last one, isn't it? So I need to get an, okay? In this case, n is 9. So an, you remember the formula is a1 plus n minus 1d. Therefore, a9 will be, okay, the first term is 2, and then here's 9 minus 1, and the d is 5. So that's 8. 8 times 5 is 40, so that's a 42. Therefore, I get 9 over 2, and a1 is 2, and the an is 42. So I get 2 plus 42 is 44, divided by 2 is 22. So 9 times 22 is 198. See, I get my answer here. This is what you need to know about the arithmetic sequence. Okay.